What's going on, everyone? Here's what I got for you guys today. I'm going to talk about Dokkan Awakening. I'm going to Dokkan Awaken a character right in front of you, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about EZAs, what they do for characters, and how to do them. So, let's go over to recommended characters. So we'll just pretend that you guys have summoned on some banners and you got a couple units. Now this guy's only an SR, so it's not going to be nearly as good as what you guys will be picking up. But it's a place to start, and it's something I could use to show you guys how to do it. So I'm going to click on it, and then click on the character, and then so it shows you what it'll turn into after you awaken it. But here, it shows me what I already have. Now I've already trained this guy up. I've Z-awakened him, gotten him to level 80. And now it's time to go to the event so that I can get the last awakening medals to awaken him up. So you can go here. Now, I actually have 3 of these guys, but unfortunately he's an SR, which means that when he awakens and finally turns into a UR, the other SRs won't be able to be infused hit potential-wise, so I'm going to have to grind up every single version. For regular SSRs that turn into URs, you guys shouldn't have to worry about it. SRs is where this problem comes in. So I'm actually going to click Boost because I want to get a lot of medals, because I want to get this guy done quick. Go into the event. And I am going to use the Team Bardock team that I recommended you guys get. Let's see if we can find a friend today. Nope. We'll go to Pure Saiyans. And find a Pure Saiyans lead. This guy should work. Scroll over to Team Bardock team.
Alright.
We should be good to go. Now, there's 2 difficulties to almost every Dokkan event. And those 2 difficulties give one big change, pretty much. The lower difficulty gives you anywhere between 3 and 6 awakening medals, and every unit that's a Dokkan Fest exclusive probably needs about 77. So you're gonna have to do it quite a bit. But the harder version gives you 7, guaranteed every single time. But since I'm doing that, and I'm also using Boost, that means that I'm going to get 14 per run. And yeah, this is still going to take a long time, but I did already grind up a bunch beforehand so that it's not going to take too long on the camera here. But since he's only an SR and he's not, the big unit on the picture out front, then he shouldn't have too much of a problem awakening. I believe he only needs 21 medals. Banner units, which are units that are usually on the banner but not quite a Dokkan Fest exclusive, those usually require 35 medals. And like I said earlier, the unit itself usually requires about 77. And then I'll take it from an SSR, a UR to a TUR. Now I guess I should probably explain what TUR means. A TUR means it's a level 120, and it stands for True UR. Because when it's awakened, it's in the UR state instead of starting at a UR and being starting at an SSR and then being Z awakened into a TUR. It's a true UR from the card's conception. Because whenever you Dokkan Awaken, it goes up to the next tier and it changes the card. And I'll show that when I awaken him. But this Bardock that I'm about to awaken is a Super Saiyan 1 Bardock, and when he awakens, he turns into a Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. He's a completely different card, has a different name, different passive skill. They're not the same. So that's why when you awaken a SSR that was turned into a UR into a TUR, they're called true URs because they are 100% UR. So I'm going through this pretty quick. And this is, the free-to-play team that I told you guys to use. It's a pretty old event, but you really shouldn't have any problems getting through this. And even most newer ones, as long as you're smart. I'm kind of just zooming through this, not paying attention to anything. I will put him there though. And you guys would probably be able to do the same thing. But here we are. Almost done. I believe there's only 1 or 2 more phases after this. Oh wow, that's actually not doing a lot of damage. He should be helping out though. Yeah, that's pretty good. And see that little little gold star underneath the attack, that meant I stunned him, and that little red one means that I sealed him, so that guy got hit pretty hard. So stunning, like I said in one of the other videos, it makes it so that they can't attack the next turn. So even though he's got all of those attacks right up front and then in the middle, that says he's going to attack, since he's stunned, he won't attack. And the red one that says he's sealed, that means that even when he does attack, there's no chance that he'll do a super on you. He'll just do a normal. So that can be a big savior in some of the really difficult events. Alright, I gotta take this guy down, and then one more version of him, and then we'll have our medals. And I'm really not paying attention when I'm clicking, I'm just kind of tapping around. This team really is very good. Once you get them all rainbowed up, you shouldn't have any problems with any of the harder events. Not harder events, any of the mid-tier events, I would say. Now you see, if he was sealed right there, I wouldn't be able to, he wouldn't be able to do that to me. But sealing only lasts one turn, and stunning also lasts one turn. Okay. This Vegeta is the Vegeta version of that Goku card you guys have seen a couple times. He does the exact same thing. He's about just as good, and just like that Goku, he is a menace. He is everywhere, all the time. I have pulled him so many times. I didn't even go for him initially because I knew he was going to be just like Goku, and I was right. He sucks. Well, he doesn't suck, but it sucks that he's everywhere. The longer you guys play this game, the more units you'll find that you just absolutely hate because they just keep showing up. That stun right there was huge. That's another reason this team is so good, because they don't just have, you know, good stats, they don't just have good defense, they have abilities, you know, stunning, sealing, additionals, support type, you know. A lot of units that come out, they're just, you know, I hit hard, and sometimes that's good, but sometimes when you are starting out free to play and you just need to be able to get through the events, even if it takes a little bit longer because you don't have those heavy hitting units, this is good to have, because, you know, it is taking a little bit longer than if I would use a really good team, but I'm getting through. I'm not worried about getting killed at all. We got one more phase left. And there's Vegeta. I'm gonna, just in case, I'm gonna put him there. That Vegeta is actually not on the leader skill, unfortunately, because he's not a low class warrior. But then again, he is a Seminole Dokkan Fest unit, so his defense is good enough to survive, because this, like I said, this is a really old event. I'm pretty sure this one's maybe 3 years old, maybe a little bit older. It's right on the cusp of 3 years.
Time to get serious.
Alright, and this is Dokkan, this is Dokkan mode. I guess I haven't shown you guys this yet. As you gather orbs, eventually you'll gather Dokkan energy, which is the meter down the bottom. And whenever it's filled up, and you have a unit that's about to do a super attack, the first unit that does the super attack while the meter is filled will go into Dokkan mode, and Dokkan mode allows you to attack all units. So say there's about 5 units up instead of just this one guy, it would hit all of them with the exact same amount of damage, and it gives him a pretty big damage boost. Now you do have to hit those little dots as it goes along the Z. If you don't hit all of them, it's not that big of a deal, it's only like 5% damage, it's not massive, but you know, every little bit counts when you're in a difficult event. And I believe it's 20%, maybe 25% of the damage you do gets returned to you as health during a Dokkan attack. So, in some of the really difficult events, timing your Dokkan mode and using it at the right time is very essential. You know, if you're just about to get destroyed and then all of a sudden you throw out that Dokkan mode, clear out half the map and heal yourself completely, it's very, very important. Like, I've clutched a couple events doing that. Alright, so here we are. Got enough. I'm gonna go to team. Actually, I believe I can just awaken him from Giru's. I'm not sure. Oh, no, it takes him away because I have the medals available. So we'll go to awaken. I'm just gonna search Bardock. He's right there. Hit the thing. Dokkan awaken. He completely changes card. He has a different name, different form, different passive. I'm gonna level him up. Awaken. And now he is a UR. Not a TUR, but he is a UR. So I'll have to do this to the other copies of this unit that I have, and then I can fuse them into him. And he'll be stuck at level 100 instead of getting up to level 120 like everyone else. But it's still a decent unit. You know, you pull an SSR, they're not all bad. I think this guy's pretty old, so I think he is pretty bad. Let me take a look at him. I mean, honestly, he's really not that bad for a starting team. You could definitely rock this guy if you need to. But so now let's talk about Extreme Z Awakening. Now there's pretty much two methods of Extreme Z Awakening. In the event tab, there's Z Battle, which are, it's really hit or miss whether or not they decide to do a Z Battle or a Z Area, but I'm going to talk about Z Battle right now. So Z Battle is, they'll take a unit, and they'll give you a series of stages that you have to beat. Now let's see if I can find one that I can easily just go through without thinking. Maybe this guy. I might lose. This one's kind of tough because I'm so far up. But as you go from level 1 to level 30 on this event, I realize I'm at level 88. You can keep doing this just to farm up Zenny, but as you go from 1 to 30, you get all of the Extreme Z Awakening medals you need to take a unit from this level 120 all the way up to level 140. Now, I'm going to show you a unit that has happened to. Here we go. So this Vegito, right? He was really good on launch. I think he was, one of the first. He was in the first 1 or 2 years of the game releasing, but power creep has had such an effect on this guy that he was pretty much unusable. But they gave him an Extreme Z Awakening, so he went from level 120 to level 140, and they completely changed his passive skill. They changed his super attack, so now it's Super Attack Extreme, and they gave him a new agility leader skill. And I don't know if I can take a look at what he used to be. Yes, I can, right? So if you look at his passive skill, it's damage received by normal attacks and minus 80 counters. So it has no attack buff, no defense buff, kind of just meh. But now he has an initial attack and defense buff, foresees enemy super attacks, and then he does the exact same thing he used to. So they always add, they never really take away. And then this one, he's a support type after he attacks, so he's just a very good unit now, but he didn't used to be. So that's what EZAs are. I think they're the best thing that Dokkan has ever added into the game, because you pull 1,000 of this unit and you're like, oh, this guy's crap now, he's never going to be useful, and then all of a sudden Dokkan decides, hey, this guy's useful now, and that is amazing. I believe then one of the next units coming to Global, there's 2 versions of the game, Global and JP. I have an account on both, but I stick to Global, and I'm going to stick to Global on this YouTube channel as well. I'm going to find Masked right here. This guy, he was released a really long time ago, and there's that static flat number that I was telling you guys about that's just not good. You can even have them in passive skills. I don't have his details on my brain right now, but I know that he turns into an absolute monster once he's EZA'd. They take this, in general, crappy unit and then turn him into something incredible. So let's just go through and see what EZA is like. So I'm gonna pick one. Pick this one. This one's a little goofy, so I'm gonna pick something else. Let's Let's see what I gotta do. No, this one's not good either. We'll do this one, right? So you go over to battle info, and it'll tell you what's good. I need extreme AGL, extreme tech, AGL, or tech movie bosses, right? So what I'll do, and I've already done this before, is in order to beat this, you know, you got, this guy's not in any of the categories, so he's not going to be a good choice. So if I go over to movie bosses, I might have a hard time finding a unit because the unit that they really want me to use is not ideal anymore. It's not in meta, so no one really uses him as a leader. But so we'll say, I guess we could just go from here.
Alright, let's do this.
So all these units are movie bosses. I showed you how to sort teams. I showed you how to create a team. So then we'll go here and we'll see if we can take care of this. I'm not really focusing too hard. But I'm not going to get any medals this time because, like I said, I already have all the medals. All I'm going to get now is a Hercule statue. So if you guys are ever low on Zenny and you have a team that can really just clean sweep this, and I suggest going after this and, you know, doing it that way. I'm actually going to back out from this because I want to show you guys Extreme Z area, and I'm seeing that the video is quite long already. Can't back out in the middle of the game though, unfortunately. And then I'm going to show you guys Extreme Z areas. There should be a couple of them up right now. I actually have one that I need to start working on. I didn't think about that. But they're usually up in the top area. Extreme Z area, okay? We'll do this one because I haven't done it yet. So you click on it, and then you click on the event, and it's automatically going to tell me, oh, I have an error, I can't do it. So I go to limits. Characters that need to be included on your team. These ones are extremely restricted, and you can get these guys from free to play, they're not required. And this is the list of characters that are allowed to take on the event. So most of these are summonable, but they've been around forever, and you'll find them on just giveaways, you'll find them in the general pool. After a certain amount of time, you will have all of these units. It shouldn't be a problem for you. But, so let's go to this one, we'll change it out. I need to have Hachiyak and Whis. Let me find Hachiyak and Whis. They'll, unfortunately, they'll force us to use these all-around kind of just crappy units. Which makes it a challenge in a way, but it's also kind of annoying. So let's see what this leader skill. All type attack and defense plus 40. Oh, I do that all the time. I accidentally hit the back out button. Should be the same process. Go here. I'm gonna pick him as a lead. I'm just gonna pick the best units that I can find. I'm gonna have to remove one of them so I can get both Whis and Hachiyak on. And now I don't have any blackout exclamation points anymore, so I can go and start. I actually don't know what the optimal units for this mission are, so I might lose. But once you get into this area, there's the different rarity of the medals, so I'm going to go left because I have no progress so far, so you want to start at the lower end. And the lower medals, you'll probably awaken 2 or 3 times, because it's not just a jump from 120 to 140, it's like a jump from 120 to 125. And then the next awakening is just the passive skill, and the next awakening is just leader skill. So, depending on where you're at and how many you have of each rarity, then you might want to make a decision based off of which direction that you go. Now let's see how tough this is going to be. Oh, this is going to be fine. Yeah, he doesn't hit all that hard. I should be alright. And these are all units, well, most of them are units that have had Extreme Z awakenings. You know, a lot of these units that I'm running right now were here on launch day, and they are not great when they launched, and they're not great until they got awakened. But now that they are awakened, they're actually quite useful on some teams. Like, I believe the tech type Goku that I have on this team is actually a support type for Super Saiyan 2 type characters, which is pretty useful depending on what your team composition is. And there's Link leveling up, always good to see. Dang, I got 3. 4. 5. Wow, that's actually a pretty good run. You don't see that very often. But then I'll take what I just got. I should be able to get 1 awakening. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of them. Got 5 in total. Go to awaken. You know, characters that are fully awakened are going to be grayed out, but I believe this is the Vegeta. So I only need 3. I'm going to awaken him. You can see down there on the bottom it said awakening 7 times left. That means that I have to do this 6 more times with different rarities. So he's at level 125, he's at level 120, he can get to level 125, so I'm just going to train him up. So then here he is. That is stage 1 of an EZA area. I am not going to keep you guys through the rest of it. It's just kind of grindy. It gets harder as you go through, but once you get those base units and grind them up and get them to where they need to be, and I realize this is probably going to be a while for you guys because you'll have to summon to get them, but every now and then they give them away, so whenever this is an option, feel free to come back to this video so that you understand what you're supposed to be doing. But until then, I'll see you guys around. Thank you for stopping by.